There's one point where he tries to make this argument, and it's very funny to me.
And in like a society where we accept like religion, which takes a lot of faith and alternative reality belief to engage in, I think that if we can accept those types of realities or those types of ideologies, we can accept like a trans person feeling like they were born in the wrong body. I think that's totally fair.
So there is so much that I could say in response to this statement.
Yeah, I want to hear it. I feel like that's like one of my biggest arguments when it comes to trans people.
Maybe we can make some accommodations for these people's belief system, but only if it doesn't infringe on other people's rights, and it doesn't.
I agree with that, but what, like, I would say, like, which way does it infringe? Sports wise, I'm like, sure, I agree. Like, trans women probably shouldn't compete in sports, especially if they've gone through a male puberty. I agree with that. Like, what other way are we really referring to though? Because like, I generally agree with that point. It shouldn't infringe on somebody else's right. You want to talk about locker rooms, maybe, depending on how passable you are, because I could see why that would make you uncomfortable as a cisgender woman. I don't really care about regular bathrooms. I don't think that there's any actual threat.
Require other people to accept these religious views as true. If we did accept trans identity as being like a religion, which is what Papa Gut seems to be suggesting here.
I'm not in the way that he's saying. I'm not suggesting it's like a religion. When I hear him say that, I hear him saying that like I'm saying that being trans is a religion. I don't think that at all. What I'm saying is that there's something fundamentally spiritual about it.
Then we would have to get rid of the Gender Recognition Act to be consistent, because we don't have a Reincarnation Recognition Act.
Oh, so it's just the act that allows trans people to change their gender. I understand what he's saying. Separation of church and state. If I'm saying, which I'm not saying, but if I'm saying that being trans is a religion, then we need to do separation of church and state and not have something about it. The problem here is that you would say the Gender Recognition Act is fundamentally recognizing somebody's gender or their expression of their transness. There is nothing that restricts religious people from expressing themselves as religious. Nobody has ever had any law that stops them from wearing a cross, wearing a particular like attire or whatever they feel like they need to do. Since the concept of trans people is becoming more accepted, this act makes sense to put them on par with everybody else of like, hey, fundamentally, you guys have to recognize somebody's expression of themselves.
If trans identity is like a religion, then the fact that government policy is being rewritten to accommodate this religion is obviously going to matter to people who think that religion is wrong.
So yeah, the First Amendment literally gives you freedom of like religion. It gives you the freedom to express your religious beliefs however you want. Basically, you're talking about like an act that, the Gender Recognition Act. If they amended that into the Constitution, into the First Amendment, it would have been the same. Like they do have things implemented that protect all those things that you're saying. So it's the same thing. Freedom of religion and religious expression. This, Trans Recognition Act, all it would do was tack on to that basically by saying you have the ability to express your trans identity as well. It's just an afterthought because this wasn't exactly a prevalent narrative back then. I don't even believe this argument he's making, but like that debunks his argument.